What's good everyone, my name is Sen, welcome back to the channel. As you guys know, I like to play fighting games. Fighting games are my absolute shit, but when you approach learning a fighting game, you are trying to spend time to figure out exactly who your mans is, what your team is, the thing that you want to spend a dedicated amount of time to getting proficient. For me, one of the most recent endeavors is Evil Ryu from Street Fighter 4. I think he's just a sick character. I think he's super cool and I like playing him. I think he's fun. But you know, outside of that, there's been some alternative thoughts to mess around with other characters too. It's a game. At the end of the day, you're supposed to have fun. This is fun. But the three games that I'm primarily rotating around with right now are Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, 2XKO, and Dragon Ball FighterZ. There's a reason for all the tag slop. It's my fault. It's because of me. My bad. I've been experimenting in these games, working with new teams or characters, even in 1v1 games, but nothing quite hits like what you're comfortable with, what your go-to character teams are in these games. Yeah, sure, better characters might be better, but the strength that you've gained for playing a set character or team for a really long time can't be underestimated. My main team for Dragon Ball FighterZ is Goku Blue, Trunks, and Super Saiyan Vegeta. There isn't anything inherently wrong with this team. The power level between all the characters is relatively close, so you can more or less just play whatever you want. It's just that better characters and teams like Vegito Blue, Gogeta Blue, and whatever, Labco 21, all interact with the systems of the games better. They just do the things that my team does better. They work with the systems, they might do better damage, they might be more meter efficient, they kill faster, whatever. They just interact better with the game than my team does. They synergize together. My team is just a cast of good characters that I just happen to like. But I was asked in the past, like, why don't you just play a better team? And part of that is the comfort element, right? Where it's you spent so much time investing in your team that you've become hyper proficient with it. You know all the little quirks about how it works, where to challenge, where your strong points on the team are, like some potential grimy setups that you could have made with the team, that it would take a long time for even a better team to get back to the power level of your current team. Even if it is a better team, you'd have to work your way back up to that power, even if it is a weaker team. Now, there is a side reason as well, and that's just due to character saturation. There is a lot of Vegito players, there is a lot of Gogeta players, there's a lot of baby players, or whatever the like. Whatever the best characters are going to have the highest level of representation, and that's just not an appeal for me. I don't like contributing to the plethora of like the best characters of the best teams or playing the same shit everyone else is playing, because I like my teams or my character choices to feel unique to me. It's character expression. I don't know if in my entire history of playing Dragon Ball FighterZ that I've ever seen anyone run my exact team. You know, there will be like 2 characters in common at most, but I don't think I've seen anyone outright rock my same team. In 2XKO, my team is Blitzcrank and Yasuo. Now, I wanted to play Yasuo since day one. I was pretty much committed to playing the character since like the minute he was announced, just because I think Yasuo is cool. I played him back when I played League of Legends. I played him rather unconventionally. I played him top lane, but I still played him mid as well. So I was pretty hard set on Yasuo. My alternatives at the time when starting out with the game were Ahri and Echo. I think I was in the mind of the rotation of those three characters, and then I think I also had my sights set on Jinx. But Blitzcrank was just kind of a happy accident where I was helping a friend learn the character and just ended up getting super comfortable with Blitz until he wound up on my team too. And now I have a really tough time experimenting with the rest of the cast. Now, Yasuo did just recently get some nerfs, but honestly, the nerfs didn't really affect any of the core things that I was doing at my level. It more affects the players playing at the highest level than it does me, so I can continue to rock Yasuo pretty much all the same. Like, the only real change that messed with me even a little bit is Air Charge JS1. I know it's a little redundant, I said Air and J, but J Charge S1. That's the only thing that really messes with anything for me, just because the hitbox is a little bit different, but Yasuo, relative to my skill level, is roughly the same. With that said, though, there has been some experimentation. The alternative team I've been playing recently has been Darius and Caitlyn, and it's not because Yasuo got nerfed, it's just because it's fun to mess with other characters too. But it's the same problem, right? Where getting this team's proficiency to the level of my current team, you know, you could argue that Caitlyn Darius is better than Yasuo Blitz, maybe. But if you're not comfortable with it, it's sure as hell not gonna look like it. Alternatively, I'm thinking about rocking Caitlyn and Warwick. I think Warwick helps interact with the systems just a little bit better. Not sure what fuse I would play with them, but you know, just thinking about side teams to experiment with. The whole nerfs conversation gets me thinking a little bit about Street Fighter V. In Street Fighter V, Punk was probably the most dominant player at the time. He absolutely was a wrecking shop. And he was playing his staple character, Karin Kanzuki. Now, I want to say it was right around Season 2 that Karin got hit by some pretty solid nerfs at the time. Now, upon those nerfs actually coming to light, Punk was doing a little bit of soul searching. He was playing characters like, where the fuck is she? He was playing characters like Cammy or Chun-Li. He was just experimenting around with the rest of the cast because she got hit by a laundry list of nerfs. And the success that Punk was finding at the time while soul searching for these characters, let's just say he wasn't playing his best, but inevitably he was just kind of saying, fuck it, let me just try Karin, let me see actually what's good with this character. And pretty much the moment that he went back to playing Karin, he immediately found that success again. He was playing well, he was playing to the level that you would expect from a world-class player like Punk, even in spite of these nerfs. So honestly, it just comes down to playing what is best for you. Even if it's not maybe the best thing or the strongest thing right now, playing with what you're comfortable with, that suits your style, with the tools that you're familiar with and have grown accustomed to throughout the duration of these games, that will have you performing your best. Picking the best character isn't always the best for you. The point being here is that, yeah, your character or team getting nerfed absolutely sucks. It never hits for the better mentally. Try it out, see how it feels, see if these changes are actually devastating to the things that you want to do, then make up your mind if switching is something that you want to do. It's not me telling you you have to be a character loyalist or anything like that, but sometimes nerfs that feel major in the moment don't end up affecting your game as much as you might expect. Or you're so comfortable with the character team in question that even in spite of these nerfs, your play won't change that dramatically. Now, this isn't me saying it's impossible to learn a new character or team like that. People do it all the time, you know, messing around casually or competitively with a new team or character or whatever. It's a lot like learning a new peripheral, where there's going to be the infancy stages where you're going to be bumbling around. Like, I went from controller to stick to hitbox, and there was a lot of quirks in between that time of my learning where I really struggled. But it's just a reacclimation period to get your proficiency level back up to where you want it to be, and maybe even beyond where you were. At first, when you're losing with a new team, it sucks because you're like mentally talking yourself off the edge of like, oh man, you're so lucky I'm not using my main team or whatever. Like, you suck, but I suck worse with this team, like this, that, and the third. Until you get back up to the level where you want to be, or even beyond that, it's just going to be like the Bambi stages. You're just Bambi on ice with this team right now. You're not super comfortable, and you're just like constantly talking yourself off the edge of, oh man, if I was on my main team. Lastly, I want to talk about my main team in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. My main / staple team has been Nova, Taskmaster, Virgil for some time now. It's the team I'm comfortable with. It's the team I'm playing. Not a bad team by any means like that. I don't think they mesh the best, but it's just characters that I like enough and I'm comfortable enough playing that it's my main shit. Nova and Virgil particularly stand out as like really good characters. Taskmaster's like pretty okay, and you can kind of just throw them on a good shell. I don't think these characters mesh particularly the best or anything like that, but it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a lot like my Dragon Ball FighterZ team in that case. But very recently, I thought it would be fun to do the combo trials for one. Why did this not save? Well, now you guys aren't going to believe this, but I did all of Chris's combo trials. I really don't know why I didn't save. That's interesting. Well, now I just look like a fucking liar. Chris's combo trials are not that hard. I could do it again. It's not that tough. But I wanted to play and mess around with Chris because I just finished Resident Evil 9. I really like Resident Evil. I think the games are fun. And I thought it would be cool and unique for me to play a character like Chris because he's not a character you see a ton, really. I wanted to potentially build a team around Chris. Like, it started out with me just throwing him on the team to like see how he'd mesh, and I wasn't getting a good impression on that. So I was rocking Chris, Taskmaster, Virgil. It just didn't feel like the characters supported Chris in the way that he wanted. So my next idea was to actually build a team around Chris. The team I had in mind was actually Chris, Dante, and Dr. Doom. But after finishing Chris's combo trials and just like taking a better look at his kit and like the things that this guy was capable of, my opinion of the character just started tanking rather drastically. Like, I really love seeing people play Chris in tournament and like just seeing that unique character representation. But when I did his combo trials, I tried to play him a little bit online with Taskmaster and Virgil, and it just didn't go my way. A lot of the time, like, my opinion of this guy just started tanking. So I was making up the minds like, all right, let me build a team around Chris. Like, what in my brain does Chris struggle with that like some other characters could help him out with? So I was thinking Dante Jam Session, because obviously it cuts off a very significant portion of the screen. Jam Session is just a good assist. It would potentially help him convert in like maybe awkward situations, or have like a better incoming mix-up where you like snap out, call Jam Session, cross under, do this, that, and the third. I haven't really thought of any mix-ups, but Jam Session is just a really good assist. And because in my mind, Chris just struggles in the neutral a little bit, and having that approach option, hidden missiles would help Chris close the distance and like threaten neutral options to help him get in. I think this team could work. The problem with that is I would have to learn how to play Dante. I would have to learn how to play Doom. I don't know how to play these other two characters. And thinking of if that would be worth it to learn these two characters to play a character I don't even perceive to be that good. I think Chris is ass, actually. Now, I don't think it'd be too tough of a problem to like learn Doom very casually. I think he's just like a strong enough character that you can pick up in a basic way and get started with. So I don't think picking up Doom would be the hardest thing in the world. But Dante, I think, is considered the hardest character in the game. Like, he is the most executionally demanding. He does not do a lot of damage, and if you want access to his better damage, you have to have the hands for him. So I'm just like, is this fucking worth it just to play Chris? Probably not. You know, more like talking more about Chris is I think his ground options are pretty weak. The things that he does while he's on the ground are not that strong IMO. I think his neutral on the ground is not very good. And then his limited options that he does have on the ground, like he's got grenade toss, which is like whatever. He's got a fucking landmine. H grenade toss is actually probably pretty good on incoming. Like, that's probably something you could do, like snap, jam session, grenade toss, this, that, and the third. I don't know. There's probably something in there. But with his limited options that he has on the ground, like he doesn't have any dirty shit. He has even more limited options in the air. Like, he has his gunshots, and that's kind of it. If he could like air grenade throw, that might be something, but he doesn't have air grenade throw. And the only angle that he covers with his special moves are at like a gross 45-degree angle, which if that's the only angle of attack you have in the air with special moves, that's not very good. If he wants to contest any other part of the screen in the air, he has to use his normals, which aren't like the best in class or anything like that. He doesn't have any really good shit in the air. So if he wants to contest any of this other space outside of his own kit, he needs these assists. He needs a jam session. He needs a fucking hidden missile, so he can help actually contest any kind of significant space. I think if you want to play Chris for the sake of it, just because you like Chris Redfield, that's cool and fine. You play whatever the fuck you want. But IMO, every other Resident Evil character is probably better in one way or another than Chris is. If you want to play something that represents Chris that's Resident Evil, just play Wesker. I think I actually want to experiment a little bit with Jill and see if I can find some cool stuff with her. But like Nemesis has his strengths too that are like unique to him, that are very standoutish. I'm like, in my mind, I'm just like, Chris is fucking whack, and that sucks. So learning Dante and Doom just for Chris, like, fuck that. Literally just fuck that. I guess to end this, we can play a quick little ranked match if we can actually find a game. There isn't like a super hard like ending segment to stand off on, other than just like a hey, play your shit and play the stuff that you think is fun and that just works for you. There isn't really like a message at the end of the day. I just kind of wanted to talk in a fun way about your teams or your characters. Play whatever benefits you the most or whatever you like the most. But with that said, I want to wrap up with a game of my main team. I wouldn't mind learning a character like Dante, but learning a character like Dante for Chris? Hell no! Absolutely not. Fuck that, dude. Funnily enough, I actually wanted to play Dante first. Like, when I first started the game, I thought Dante was so cool, but he was so tough, or I'm just like, that ain't for me, dog. So I'm just like, you know, it's still Devil May Cry. I think Virgil's cool. So I learned Virgil as like the homecoming queen runner-up, where I'm just like, Virgil's cool and strong and stuff. I think he's pretty sick. And I'm just like, no, Virgil's cool. And then I just became comfortable with Virgil. And yeah, I mean, in my mind, I could still learn Dante in a basic way and pick him up. I'm not opposed to that at all. But just for Chris, hell no. Alright. For our first and only game of the video, newer player? I'm not going to underestimate this player. They might have a score that's not well representative of them being that great, but man, there's some fucking demons on this game, so you never know. Like, they might got some good shit, but the players that are playing at the best level fucking smoke you. So let me not get ahead of myself here. Bond Wonderland, the interesting team, my friend. That's a very vanilla Marvel ass team right there. Oh, nice. I'm expecting a lot of dive kicks. Yep, take him up to the air. Hold this for me. Wow. Rocket punch. Let's just take out Dante. Rip in peace, my friend. And then, you know what? Deal with this. What you got for me? Oh! Rocket punch, baby! Oh! Oh, I dropped it? Oh my god, Nova's taking him to church right now, bruv. Hella dead. GG's, my boy. I appreciate the game. Wishing you the best in your online journey. Thanks for the match. And yeah, they're probably on the same journey of finding out the shit that works best for them, that they really rock with. Maybe it's that exact team and they just need some time to get proficient with it and find out all the cheap shit. But they're on the same journey I was, and I'm still in the middle of character crisis. Like, I want to find out other characters that are fun and interesting for me that I can incorporate into my game. Like, I have a little bit of Captain America, but Captain America's easy. He's like the Darius of 2XKO. Like, everyone's got a Captain America, right? But it's all in good fun. As long as you're on the grind, having a good time playing fighting games and enjoying yourself, I think you're doing it right more than anything. And just play the shit that works for you. Play whatever you think is fun. You don't have to top tier chase if you don't want to, but if that's something you want to do, that's perfectly fine too. You do whatever is right for you. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want to see more, check out the rest of the channel. In the description, there's links to not just my channel, but all kinds of other stuff as well. You guys can catch me on Twitch. I can speak, I promise. And just remember to keep on fighting and get ready for the next battle. I'll see you guys later. Peace.